Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's commentary. It is 24 minutes past 11. Not a single trade yet today, and so there's no trades for you as yet today. So the market's been okay this morning, but I think the thing is I'm waiting to see if the pound's going to roll over, and so that's what I'm waiting for. Obviously, it had a big plunge late last night, yesterday evening actually, as you can see on the hourly charts here. And so it's overall just consolidating down here. So I'm waiting to see if it's going to roll over at some point today. So that's what I'm waiting to see. Let's go out to the daily charts because there's no trading here just at the moment. As for the euro came down a little bit, as you can see, last night as well. And then essentially gone sideways. It's been very weak to the downside. There's not been a lot of downside pressure just yet, so let's left that alone as well. So let's go out to these daily charts and just do some analysis on these. So firstly, the pound. I mean, it put in that lovely. It had a doji a couple of days ago, and so maybe that gave the warning. I remember when we were rallying, I was thinking this just looks like a retracement rather than a new phase of a rally, and but it kept on going higher, so I thought, oh, maybe I'm going to be wrong here, and then obviously yesterday it's rolled over a bit, and with the fact that we're hand rating this 50-day moving average, I just see the potential for the pound to actually break this hand rating at some point and then roll over. I don't know if it's going to happen today, but that's what I would be looking for now. The line in the sand is obviously if we break above these highs, then all bets are off, and we'd have to say, okay, yep, looks like we are indeed going to be going up to re-challenge these highs up here. But I think that now we've put these highs in with the doji reversal there, that they're the line in the sand for the upside. If we break those, then yep, we can go back up to re-challenge those highs. Otherwise, at the moment, to me, it's looking like a bit bearish, and with the way that it's hugging the 50-day moving average there. So that's the pound. So I'm not overly bullish on it at the moment unless it can break above those highs. Now the euro is a slightly different story because it's been a much cleaner move up for the euro. Obviously it broke this high over here, so it started to put in that was a sort of a lower high, and it's now broken that, so you can now say it's a well, it's a higher low we've got here in place. But we're coming down, maybe back down towards our lower bands, down at around about 130, so 130.48. So there is potential on both of these markets to have a bit of a downside move today. Euro obviously is a lot stronger overall, and so I'm wary of that as well, that if it was to start breaking up, it hasn't got a lot of work to do to start to come back up towards these highs again. So we'll just have to see. But if I look at the daily charts at the moment, it looks like a retest of the lower bands is on the card, which would be around about 130 in the first instance, and then we'd have to reassess from there. So it's only about, like I say, about 50 pips from where we currently are. Now let's have a look at the S&P. Now the S&P has had a similar type of move to that of the euro. It pulled back a little bit yesterday, but it was only a marginal down day, really. Nothing really to shout home about. So again, the line in the sand for the S&P is this high over here, so at 1470. It's not far away. If we can break 1470, obviously, then it tells us that the market's off again, and because we've then broken this high. So at the moment, it's just pausing. Let's have a quick look at the futures. I haven't checked those yet this morning to see if they're up, down, or sideways. And let's have a look. See, they are practically sideways. Yep, they've not really done much too much just yet. So I can't really say too much at the moment. Really, with the S&P, we're in this overall range we've carved out. When you look at it over the past month or so, we're just trading within this overall range. So if we bracket that, then we can say, okay, well, if we break to the upside, then there's probably a nice. You could measure the width of the range, and that can give a projection. And likewise to the downside, if we break the low of that, you could measure the width of this to give a downside projection of somewhere around about here. So yeah, I think you go either way at the moment. So again, I've not had much to say about this S&P for a while. Obviously, it came down to do a test of the daily 50 just earlier part of this week, and it had a successful test of that with the bounce, but not really too much to say just there. Now gold, it's backed off. I'm not surprised by that, in that it backed off from, let's have a look again. Remember that weekly highs over here that I'd pointed out, so I said that zone would probably offer the next resistance, which is basically what's done. So it's capped gold price for several weeks now, but overall at the moment, gold it's looking like it has a bit more potential on the upside at this stage, so we'll have to see. But again, at what point would I start to change that focus? Well, really, gold would have to come back down and break below the weekly 50, which is right down here at 1660 or so. So it's got plenty of scope there before I'd start getting too concerned. So 1660 is down here on the daily charts. Certainly, the first warning would be if it got below its 50-day moving average. So now it's backed off from that resistance. So there's not really too much more to say about that. And I was going to look at oil there, but there's really not too much to say about the oil market right now. It's just way too sloppy over the last 10 days or so. So I'm now at a dilemma. Do I get this recording out, or do I hold off and see if we can get a trade in at some point today? But it's very, very slow yet again, and so it's just a case of do we hold off? So I'll press pause for now, and we'll come back to this. So still nothing much happening here. One thing I must mention actually is we've got this ETX Capital trading competition, which starts on Monday actually. So there's quite a lot of you all signed up for that, so good luck with that, and over the next month we'll see how you all get on. I think Sam's distributing all the demo accounts out to everybody over today and maybe over the weekend. I think we're starting it from Monday, so good luck with that. There's still just not enough going on in these markets today as yet. It's already pretty much midday now, and still absolutely nothing. It's a dry account today, so to speak, and so I'm waiting, and I'm hoping that maybe the pound will roll over at some point, but at the moment nothing's going on really. Let's take us out to an hourly chart, put it in perspective, and this is what we're doing. So since this morning, so here we had a plunge down early hours, and then over the last four hours or so we've really not done a lot. And let's go back to the euro just to recap on what that's doing. It came down a little bit this morning, but like I said, on a very weak downside momentum, so there's not been a lot going on there either, particularly. So for now I'm just staying out of the market, but what I am looking for is that rollover potential on the pound, because that was the weaker one out of the two anyway, and so I'm just waiting for that to set up. Like I said, euro's got those daily targets which I think could get down to, but the pound at the moment looks the weaker one out of the two. So I'm going to wrap it up. I want to get this out to you today, so it's midday already. So have a fantastic weekend. I'm not around next week on holidays, so well, I am around until Monday, Tuesday, and then on holidays. So I'll be back in a couple of weeks' time.